Okay, if you're feeling lost or you feel like you need some structure in your day and you need some girly ways to help yourself feel like the most magnetic self, keep watching because I think this video is going to be for you. Hi everyone, I am Natasha. I am a breathwork facilitator and the founder of this beautiful community called Soul Rising the Self-Discovery Studio. And I'm so excited that you've decided to come back here. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you have been here before, then oh my gosh, you're back for another episode. Is it an episode or is it just another video? Anyway, I've just created the most beautiful intention setting cards, and I just wanted to talk to you more about why I created them and why I think they're so important. Not because I want to sell them to you, but I'm hoping that we can move through a guided journaling exercise together using these cards to help you see why it's so important to set your day with intention and structure, and just to help you feel as though you're your best, most magnetic self. Because who doesn't want to feel that way? Let's be honest. Okay, so I was in India when I saw like these cards basically in my hotel room that were by my bed that basically had like a way to unwind your day. And it basically said something like, if you've been traveling and you've been busy, leave like your footprints where they are and take a mindful moment. And it had a QR code that basically like scanned you to a like a playlist or something like that. And I was like, I need this in my daily life, like every single day. Because when we wake up in the morning, we're so clouded with all these thoughts and we literally feel like, oh my God, like I've got to do X, Y, and Z. I look at my phone straight away and I'm looking at messages, and you've suddenly allowed like 1,000 people into your room before you've even allowed yourself a moment to ground yourself, to figure out how you're feeling, to offload so you can start your day on a blank state and in a way that just feels calm and nourishing. And if you're thinking, why is that important? I'm about to tell you why. Because when we are moving in our day, in the beginning of our day, the bare kind of foundation and the status and just the slate of our day in a way that is full of chaos, in offloading all these things that we have to do and inviting other people's thoughts and opinions into our world straight away through messages and reels and memes. And whilst it's all funny, it's causing a lot of chaos in our brain. Because one, we are stimulating our nervous system from a place of instant reward and fight and flight, because we are showing our brain these quick snippets and clips of things that are funny and things that are thought provoking and maybe things that are terrorizing in our world, which is instantly spiking up our dopamine in one area of us. But also, what it's doing is it's stimulating our fight or flight by kind of making us alert and awake to all the things that are going wrong or all the things that are requiring our high attention in the moment straight away. And whilst it's important to be aware of worldly news, whilst it's fun to watch a meme, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm saying doing that first thing is basically setting our nervous system from this place of one, thinking that we need instant reward to feel good straight away in the morning, instead of beginning from a really calm and grounded state. And two, it's showing us that we're beginning our day on this high alert, on a fight or flight, which isn't that sustainable for our body. Because if you know about the nervous system, you'll know that when we are constantly in fight or flight, we are entering this stress cycle. And this stress cycle, which I'll pop here for you to see, is basically spiking our stress hormone known as cortisol when we're in our fight or flight, when we're in high alert, which means we're more likely to feel like alarmed, we're going to feel sweaty, our pupils are going to be dilating, we're going to feel like a little bit panicky, we're going to be shallow breathing, and that's going to stimulate us into thinking, oh my gosh, something's going wrong in our body. When we think something's going wrong, we feel stressed. When we feel stressed, we're more likely to cause an abnormal immune response in our body, because our cells are thinking, we need to fight like the situation that's going on, something's going bad here. And then that causes us to become ill. And when we feel ill, we feel stressed. And then the cycle keeps going round and round and round. And I just think, imagine like you're starting your day like that. Like imagine, I just think it's so unsustainable. And for me personally, I feel like it's more important to start your day from a grounded place where you can, because I know life is busy, but literally having like a minute or two to yourself to like be here, to soak in the peace, literally if it's for 30 seconds, instead of letting other people's opinions inform your day, which is the third thing, by the way, that happens when you're checking your phone, because you're looking at people's thoughts and opinions straight away. You're not able to hear your own voice. But when you start from a bit of quiet, you have 30 seconds to yourself, you understand, okay, I had a bit of weird, funky dreams last night, and you just say to yourself, okay, I want to start my day in X way, you've one, shown yourself a big sense of self dedication and care moment, which you might not feel instantly, like the instant dopamine effects of a reel, but it's going to impact you much later, let me tell you, because you're showing yourself that you don't need an instant reward to feel good. You're going to start to feel healthier. But number two, starting your day in this way of giving yourself peace and quiet is telling your nervous system that when I wake up, I don't have to get up out of bed right away. Even if you've got plans, it's saying to yourself, oh, actually, maybe it's safe for me to begin from peace and quiet. Maybe I don't have to rush and reply to an email or a text message or see a reel right away because I'm actually feeling good with where I'm at. And then you can use that as a foundation for the rest of your day, because when we're operating from the opposite side of rest and digest instead of fight and flight, we're more likely to feel calm, we're more likely to feel relaxed. It has huge impacts on our body because we're not causing that stress hormone to be released, but we're actually allowing ourselves to feel good, which means that our body isn't fighting an imaginary illness, we're not feeling unwell, there's not an abnormal immune system response in our body, our cells aren't reacting straight away. We're actually teaching our body to feel good and in this tranquility and in this baseline sense of stability, so that we feel more healthy and we feel more into our vitality and our natural energy. And if you're thinking, oh my gosh, like, why is this person talking about this so much? It's because we don't realize it. Like, we don't realize how damaging we're being to ourselves daily by not taking care of our needs. And that's exactly why I'm here to talk to you today about why it's important to take a moment in your morning and in your evening to set yourself up for success in the rest of your day and the day after. Because when you set up your mornings well, it impacts how you feel, and how you feel impacts how you think, and how you think impacts how you act. And how you act is how you're interacting with your family and your friends and the stranger, and that all has knock-on effects to the rest of what becomes your day, your week, your month, and your years and your life. So that's why it's so important to start your day in a way that is effective and important and significant to you, so that you feel like you are in your optimum sense of self to move forwards in the rest of your day. And the same goes in the evening, because when we make time for ourselves in the evening from the busy day that we've had, and we give ourselves an opportunity to offload, maybe not always to people, but maybe through journaling or just, again, meditating. And if that's not your thing, doing something meaningful to you, like having a nice bath or having a little skincare routine, or maybe it's like, I don't know, going for a walk in the evening, whatever it is, as long as it matters to you and it helps you decompress, you're preparing yourself for a better tomorrow, because research has shown that a huge proportion of your today will impact how your tomorrow goes. No matter how it looks, no matter what happens, it will impact your tomorrow. And it's backed up by a lot of neurological science and research. So I definitely recommend looking more into it. But that's why having a structure at the end of your day is so important in your evening. And it doesn't have to be this 30-minute, hour-long routine. It can literally be like 2 to 5 minutes, because it tells your brain mentally that I am a priority and I'm looking after myself, and I am not moving from a place in my life that is seeking instant reward and that is on fight or flight and that is ruining my nervous system to get through my day. So that's just a little bit on the structure, and that is why I've created the cards that I have. So whether these cards are something that you're interested in or not is irrelevant, but what I plan to do is to actually show you why having certain prompts and setting yourself up for success in your day is so significant. Because when you have these little reminders in your life, it's like you're not looking at your phone for that reminder, but you've got something by your bedside table, and it could be like your own like post-it note or whatever it is, but something to kind of remind you of why you are here and why you're looking after yourself, and then for you to feel that why yourself and feel into the effects of how being in these practices can be so beautiful and having this reminder can be so significant for your inner world. So I created these really out of like my own sense of just need of wanting structure in my world, and then I started sharing them with people when I was doing an in-person event, and people really liked it, and I thought, oh, okay, this is so cool. And that's why I created a video here. So if you are watching this, hopefully it's something beneficial to teach you more about why having a structure in your morning and evening is important, but also talk to you more about what I do using these cards, and to show you that you don't actually need to buy them, but if you want to, you can. But it's more about setting up a structure that works for you, and how these cards can be a wonderful reminder. So these are what the cards look like. Oh my god, they're so cool. The colour really picks up in this video, but anyway. And these are the back. So you can see that the morning ones are these gorgeous, like pink ombre color, a little bit like this aura circle. But it was all aimed to have like an aura in mind. So there's 15 of these morning ones, and they look like this. They're really cool, and they have like a little sun at the top. And then basically what we have underneath is a whole set of prompts about like a way to guide you and to help awaken you in the morning. And then at the bottom, you'll see here, it has basically like a section about where this prompt has been inspired from, so that if you wanted to explore more, you have the option to. And I think that way these cards are really like a timeless thing, because it's like you've got the message here if you want to look at it, and you can repeat and use it as much as you want to. But then at the bottom you have a way to explore that thought more, which I just think adds in the best way. Like I just couldn't think of a better way to like start my day. And then you have the nighttime cards. So I've used this blue kind of ombre look here, and I just think that's a nice like evening kind of vibe to have. And they look like this, so similar to the morning cards, but then at the evening cards you've got like a little sparkle because it's the starry night, but it's the same structure. And then at the middle you've got like the wording prompts, and then at the bottom you've got the inspiration to explore more. So I thought it could be quite nice to like read through a prompt together and talk you through how I would work through them, so that you get a little bit of a feel of how it would work for you, because this is what this is about. We're sharing wellness techniques here, and I want you to live life according to your unique needs and for you to thrive, and I want to thrive too. So let's do it. Like, why not? So let's begin with the morning prompt. So I picked this card, and that's the beauty of these. You can like shuffle them and pick them a little bit like some people do with tarot, but if that's your thing. But this is a morning card that we're going to be doing, and I'm going to read it to you, and I'd love to hear like what you think about it. So this one says, "Today is a new day, and new possibilities are always unfolding. So have a think about what surprises or miracles can you notice in your day today? Perhaps it's a conversation, a quiet moment, or a beautiful detail that you might normally overlook. Smile gently and stay open to unexpected moments of joy in your day today." Isn't that so nice? So what I would do with this prompt is it's saying, what surprises or miracles can you notice in your day today? And if you're not a journaler, I would just take a minute to like think, okay, what do I have planned? I'm going to get up and brush my teeth. Then I'm going to go downstairs, make breakfast, maybe watch TV, but I am going to work today. I'll be driving to work. Like, what miracles could I notice on my day? Maybe that it's going to be really sunny today. Maybe I'm going to be driving and have a constant stream of green lights today. Maybe when I go to work, my favourite work colleague's going to be there. Or maybe I'm going to have a lovely conversation. Or maybe someone will do something kind to me. It's about noticing those small moments, because those moments are what make up your life. It's not always about the big win and the big event that you have coming up to look forward to, even though those things are beautiful. But I think noticing these small things is such a beautiful way to kind of recognize the beauty in everyday moments of life. Um, and you could like journal on this too, and that could really help you with these like future self visualizations of thinking of, if I was my future self and I got up out of bed, what would my ideal life look like, and what would the miracles be that I experience? Like, maybe you live somewhere that you've always wanted to live. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's why these things are so good, because it starts you in one end to set your day out positively, but then you can also use it in different ways of your life as well. And this one is inspired by mindfulness practices and psychological research on neuroplasticity. And if you don't know what neuroplasticity is, look it up, because it's got everything to do with the way that our brains are wired, and we can condition and train our brains to be at its optimum and look for the things that we wish for in our lives. And then let's look at an evening card together. So this one is this evening card, and I'm going to read it out to you again, just so you get a feel of what these are like. But I'm doing another video, and we'll be going through the class together as if like this is your morning video and this is your evening video. But anyway, so as your day comes to a close, take a slow breath and reflect on one moment from today that brought you a sense of happiness or appreciation. It may have been something small, a quiet moment, a kind exchange, or an unexpected moment of peace. Whatever it was, allow yourself to rest in that sense of contentment and joy before you drift off tonight. Again, another way to end your day so beautifully, not by looking at your phone, looking at what's to do tomorrow, by thinking of that argument you might have had or whatever happened, but it's saying to yourself, just reflect for a minute. What is something that you actually truly appreciated about today? And it's not about toxic positivity, but it's about like, what was something that was actually meaningful to you? And then when you think about that thing and it was meaningful to you, you're actually going to feel really good. And imagine going to sleep feeling good and feeling that little tickle of like joy or happiness, knowing that that thing happened to you. When you wake up, it sets yourself up positively because you know that you ended your day remembering something good. And that's going to have huge impacts on your brain health because you're teaching your brain to look at the good in life instead of looking at things that are always going wrong. But don't get me wrong, things do go wrong in our lives. Of course they do. But having practices like this helps our track record and helps our resilience and our kind of our response to change and unexpected moments and difficulty because we are teaching ourselves how to get back up and how to use skills within ourselves to mitigate those circumstances and actually take care of our needs first. So this one is inspired by the concept of gratitude and cultivating contentment with what is present. So yeah, this is just an example of what the cards are inspired by. And like I said before, there's 15 of them that you can go through and they're all like different like things. Like this one, for example, is inspired by grounding visualization practices. And this one is inspired by yogic philosophy and the concept of svadhyaya, which is also known as the practice of self-study. So again, linking to those ways that you can reflect and contribute to your life more positively. And to be honest with you, I created these because I just felt like I had a plethora of knowledge from doing a yoga philosophy course, from qualifying as a breathwork practitioner, and then visiting India for the first time. And I just felt like I was gaining so much wisdom that I needed to kind of portray and put into something. And that's why these cards came about because I just thought, wow, I have all this knowledge that is so useful to people. Why would I not share it with the world? And that's what I really hope that I've done for you today. So that's more about morning and evening structures, more about what I have created at Soul Rising, the Self Discovery Studio. If that is something that you're interested in, let me know. I put a link to it at the bottom with a 10% discount code, so feel free to use it. If you want to tell me more about what you do in your morning and evenings, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what your structure is. Because I know some people, like, they have apps and things on their phone which supports them, and other people kind of like enter their own headspace of like reading or like listening to immersive music. And a lot of people I've spoken to have said having prompts like this is actually really helpful. So I would love to hear what you think. Let me know, leave a comment down below, leave me a message. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope to see you again very soon in the next one. Bye and take care for now.